Good morning, YouTube. You are on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. Pouring out some coffee. How's everyone doing this morning? I am still under the weather and extremely tired for some reason. I slept a bunch, but man, I woke up, I just couldn't breathe. I don't know if it's like because of all of the illicit substances that I've put in my nose over the years, or if it's part of my sickness, but man, I wake up every morning just not able to breathe. And it's getting kind of old. Let me tell you, it kind of sucks. But we're here, reporting for duty. Um, yeah, I hope everybody's well this morning. Dingoes ate my name. Hello, hello, Cindy G, Charlie Mullins. Happy birthday to Kristen Melinda, everyone. Our very own Kristen Melinda. Happy birthday. Buster Crochet, good to see you. Newest nut. 4 degrees this morning. I am not a fan. Jeremy, hello, hello. Robin, good to see you. Drinking your Tim Hortons right now. Thank you so much. Kevin, Heather, hello, hello. How you guys doing? Good to see you guys. Gamer Jackie, welcome in. Your body is using its energy to try and heal you. That's why you're still really tired. Some stuff just kicks the crud out of us. I tell you what, 22 days later, still under the weather. But I think today I'm going to chug like a gallon of orange juice or whatever big container of orange juice I can find. I'm going to put it inside of my body. Maybe that'll help. I ran through a whole pack of vitamin C. Did all my laundry yesterday. Man, yesterday was pretty great. I was feeling well enough to start doing stuff. The place is looking clean, guys. I tell you what. Love it. Good to see you. Good morning. Bobby Jean. Yo. Going around here too. Have a work friend, no lies, been feeling it for 2 months now. I hope that I don't go for another 20 days. Holy crap, that would suck. A sinus rinse. It may be irritated by now. I would have to bet that it's irritated. I'm not entirely sure I know what a sinus rinse is. Is that like a neti pot? I've thought about doing something like that. They also, here in Tucson, they sell Benzedrine inhalers, and I have also thought about getting one of those, but makes me a little nervous knowing, like, having the knowledge that I have and the history that I have. I don't know if a Benzedrine inhaler is really going to help me. It ain't going to help me sleep, I tell you what. That's for darn sure, but being able to breathe would be cool. I actually noticed, I was so tired a few nights ago, and I didn't want to sleep in my room because of all the smoke. So I went and sat down on my couch, and I could breathe so much better sitting up, and I was just tired enough to fall asleep sitting up. That was nice. That was very nice, but I'm not generally exhausted to the point where I can fall asleep sitting up. So maybe overdoing it, maybe. But the groceries have to be bought, the rent has to be paid, and the clothes got to be cleaned. So I'm trying to do as little as absolutely possible. I appreciate you bringing that up because I do have a tendency to overdo it. I'm just trying to get everything that I can done. Most of my day is spent resting, though, 100%. Y'all need some ones. Is my dad's back acting up again? I feel like his back is always not doing so hot. He sounded pretty well yesterday, although I haven't spoken to him this morning. Let's get some ones up for everyone out there that needs a little extra help today. For my dad's back, for me, for anyone else out there struggling that needs a little extra. What do you say? I wonder if it's mold. I bet you I could probably get like a mold tester kit at Home Depot, huh? Why can't my stuff just work though? You know what I mean? I mean, that's a stupid question because it's not helpful in the sense that question's not going to solve anything, right? But again, very frustrating. Why is it broken? Why can't it just work? Why can't there just be no mold? Why can't my nose just work? Well, I guess the answer to that second question is because I absolutely destroyed it with my bad habits in the past. So there's that. Some of my frustration is definitely of my own devising. Imagine that. Imagine that. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I because of all of this, I'm feeling less cognitive today than yesterday. So maybe I'll just jump into some William White. What do you guys say? Lacey Silver, good to see you. Jamie Palmer, hello, hello. Lester Crochet has been dealing with some raised pain levels over the past couple days. Haven't been on the boat, starting to feel better. I'm glad you're feeling better. There's definitely something going around. It's crazy when, I mean, generally there's like a sick season where people catch things, right? It feels different, doesn't it? Is it just in my head? It kind of feels a little more impactful right now. It kind of feels like a little more everyone. How else do you say that? It just seems like more, doesn't it? Maybe it's just from where I'm sitting. Maybe it's just my perspective, but um maybe we could just talk about conspiracy theories this morning. I have an idea. So controversial. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. Have a great day, Kristen. You deserve the world today. Hopefully, well, you deserve the world every day. Hopefully, you get everything on your Christmas or your birthday list today, huh? Thanks for popping in and saying hello on your day. I appreciate you. What was I going to say? Oh, I was deciding whether or not to talk about a conspiracy. So, like, you guys remember when the C plus math started happening, and and it was just a crazy. It was like everybody was kind of confused and scared, and we had like the lockdowns, and then they came up with a vaccine really quickly. It was kind of alarmingly fast. And me being a skeptic, and also at the time, I'm pretty sure I wasn't sober at the time. This was years ago, right? So my brain was in a unique space, right? I had a unique perspective. I was walking around with foggy goggles on because I was, getting messed up all the time, right? So that being said, you know, I drew my own conclusions about, the vaccine and the pandemic, and the purpose, the cause, all kinds of stuff, right? I did not end up getting a vaccine, and I was thinking to myself, um, that was pretty quick. Are we really that much more advanced? Like, what's going on? And remember doing some research about the vaccine, and I can't remember. There was something about like it attaching to like some mRNA proteins or stuff that's way above my pay grade. But me, being very egotistical, self-centered, younger me. I mean, I still have a tendency to be that way today. But that being said, in my younger days when I was still running and gunning, I guess younger days being like just a few years ago. But anyways, started to draw my own conclusions, thinking I know everything about this language, mRNA, proteins, and vaccines, and things I really know nothing about, but started to think that I really did know something about. And I drew this conclusion, hypothesis, whatever. We'll call it a hypothesis because it's not. I don't know if it's true or not. It's just an idea. But what if like this vaccine was like a coordinated effort to kill off a bunch of people or something? Um, and I can't remember what made me think that. I can't remember what made me think that. It had something to do with how the vaccine interacted with your immune system. And then there was people that got the vaccine but then got sick anyways. And that started happening, and that was freaking me out. I remember thinking to myself, we're gonna have a flu season one day coming up now where a bunch of people, the immune system is just gonna break down. I remember thinking to myself, if what I these crazy ideas I have in my head about the vaccine and the pandemic, and you know all these conspiracy things going on in my head that I guess I'm not going to give voice to right at this moment. But I was thinking, I think that could possibly just break down a bunch of people's immune systems, and then they wouldn't be ready for whatever sickness came next. And I don't think that that's necessarily true in light of things that have happened since then, right? I think it's probably just a crazy thought that I had. But this flu season, this sickness that's going around, whatever the heck it is, definitely seems a little more than a regular flu season, don't it? I'm not saying that it's a coordinated effort by a group of people to kill off a large population. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's an idea that I had way back when, and I think that that idea is a little crazy, but it is a little strange. It is a little strange that these flu, whatever's going around right now, is pretty big. Seems bigger than it normally is. And again, maybe that's just my perspective. I hope I did a good job explaining that. I definitely, I'm not in that foggy, goggled headspace anymore. So it's really hard for me to pull that information back out in the place that I'm sitting here now. Incarnasol, what's going on? If there's anything you want to know about vaccines, mRNA, immune response, I just need your email and we can correspond. Dr. Incarnasol, PhD, biochemistry and molecular biology. I would like that a lot. You can reach out to me at Calhoun at gmail.com. And yeah, I would love to have this conversation. I really, really enjoy learning things. I tell you what. And for most of my life, the hardest part about that was being interested enough in something to learn about it. I'm absolutely intrigued with this subject matter. So please reach out. Let's have a dialogue about it. Um, I might get back to you quick sometimes, and I might get back to you slow other times, and that's just because I do emails as I'm like going about my day. So like if I have my hands full, I can't respond, but I can read, right? So um, yeah, I appreciate you very much. If that's something you want to do, I would love it. Brianna Miller, hello, hello. Brianna Miller says they've been working on a SARS CoV-2 vaccine for the last 10 years. That's how they were able to develop the COVID-19 vaccine so quickly. Interesting. That does make sense. Again, over my pay grade, right? I just kind of I think that I understand, but if we were really to get down into the details of it, I probably this is most likely way over my pay grade, right? But that makes sense. It seems to make sense. Those words make sense to me. And also, I'm just a skeptic, you know what I mean? Especially like take a skeptical mind. I'm not unintelligent. And then insert drugs and alcohol, heavy amounts into the mix, and like my perspective is probably not very on point, right? My perspective is probably not very grounded in that headspace, right? So I would not be surprised if the thoughts I had back then were absolutely wrong. You know what I mean? That would also make a lot of sense. So, judging by the actual facts and the details of where I was and what I was doing with my life. Gamer Jackie suggests that I do an interview with Incarnasol. I like the idea of doing interviews, but I don't like the idea of doing interviews. I'm kind of on the fence about it, so I'm definitely open to it, but also struggling with being open to it. I I feel like that's a very confusing statement I just made, but very indecisive. I'm definitely open to the idea, Gamer Jackie, and I know you guys love stuff like that. So I like that. I like doing things that makes y'all happy because that in turn makes me happy. Um, I will consider. I will be considering this. Maybe it's a good time to broaden the horizons, eh? I am reluctant to lean into the conspiracy theory subject matter too much, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I wonder what I was watching the other day. I don't know if it was fiction, conjecture, or an educated opinion. Very, very different sources. Three very, very vastly different sources, right? But I remember listening, reading, hearing about hypothetical globalist group, right? The group of people that would like to depopulate the earth to a certain number and then control everybody, right? Again, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know if I was listening to or reading fiction, conjecture, aka like a podcast, and like an educated opinion from like a professional of some sort. But I remember hearing about this concept of like a globalist agenda, and In that model, less people are easier to control. We're just going to lean into the conspiracy theories this morning, guys. I hope it's all right with you. I don't have a whole lot of voice left, so we're just going to run with what I'm on. Um, in theory, if that is a thing, less people, easier to control, right? Can understand why they would want to depopulate the earth. And, I'm not entirely sure if that was me, if I was this globalist group, I don't think that a virus is necessarily the best way to go about it unless I can guarantee that I'm not going to die myself, right? I don't know. Things that I think about, though, interesting topics that really have no real world value, I guess. I mean, maybe they do. I don't have if any of this was true, it's not like I would be able to affect any of it. You know what I mean? It's not like it's pretty much for me to either accept or, but I don't think that we talk about lizard people, asks Brianna. That might be my favorite conspiracy theory. Now, I have a question for your question. Is it your favorite thing because of how wild and out there it is? Or is it your favorite because you could see it being true? Why is it your favorite, I guess? You don't need to fit your answer into my model of question, but why is that your favorite conspiracy theory? I'm curious. I'm a fan of the lizard people theory as well. And sometimes I can see it being true. Sometimes I look at all the politicians and I'm like, y'all literally all look the same. But maybe that's just how old people look. I don't know. I feel like my old people don't look like that. But again, maybe I'm just judging. Lex Friedman is one of my favorite podcasts, Scammer Jackie. I mean, he's one of the most popular podcasts in the world, right? It makes a whole lot of sense why. But man, I could listen to him ask. He's a great interviewer. The way that he goes about, he's super. I mean, I feel like a dumb for saying it, but he's so intelligent. I mean, obviously, you could watch him for 5 seconds and you would know he's intelligent. But I love the way he goes about interviews. I can tell that he's put a ton of thought beforehand into what's going on, what he's going to ask, what exactly the situation is, what the implications of his questions or the possible answers might be. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. He did one with Zelensky. I didn't know that. Hey, from the UK, what's going on, Fragmented? Thanks for being here for us. Absolutely, my pleasure. And um, my throat hurts a ton today. I could have not come in to work today. I could have not come on the tubes today for sure, but my day is not as good if I don't show up for this. If I don't do this, I'm not as good. I'm just I this makes me better. So I'm very happy to show up and I'm grateful for the ability to show up for y'all. Thanks for thanking me though. It feels nice. It really does. Welcome in, Fragmented. Zafar Beeblebrox, Mr. President. It's always a pleasure, man. Lizard people are very industrious. I've heard the corporate bureaucracy has depth of which I could not quite fathom. Dale Cox, what's going on, my brother? Good to see you, man. Scrolling. Convinced Zuck is 100% a lizard person. It's just so funny. I mean, I think it's funny too. It's making me cheese grin for sure. Millie says the UK is currently I love this word, culling the elderly. It's pretty, what word am I looking for? This has some sinister vibes going on here. Culling the elderly, the mentally ill, and the disabled. I say stealth because it's not admitted, but it's damn obvious to all. Are you talking about the way that healthcare is going over there? Do you mind breaking that down a little bit more for me, giving me something that I can look into and do research on? Because that not only sounds sinister, but is also intriguing to me. Bobby Jeans says, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. I love that. It's true. I agree. It definitely is. Beta, I think that this is more in line with reality than conspiracy, in my opinion, than all of the things that I've been saying. I'm not very educated on the subject matter again, but Beta says they were working on the vaccine for the group of coronaviruses long before the pandemic, although how this particular variant escaped from the laboratory is a different story. And that is definitely the part that led me down the rabbit hole, right? Obviously, it doesn't have a mind of its own, right? It's not like I hit the button. I hit the button on my mouse that goes backwards. It's my fault. I should remap that button so that it doesn't do that. It's right where your thumb rests. It's really easy to press. When I play Tarkov, it's the button I use to peek left and right. But on the computer, it goes back. Hits the back button. So I'm back though. Although I think it's about time to call it. Um, if if I want to continue to feel better, I should probably not do a full up today episode. Jamie Palmer, I see you here. The Kennedy conspiracy. I don't necessarily consider that a conspiracy anymore, but a lot of people do. Most people do. And I don't think I can do William White today. My throat's not going to do it. Brianna, I might have to go do some research on the lizard people so I have something valuable to say. Maybe we should do a conspiracy episode like once a week or something. There's so much we could talk about. It would kind of be like a fun departure from serious things that we talk about, right? Nice little bit of fluff uh, while we recharge our batteries for more recovery, huh? I don't think that's a bad plan at all. What do you guys think? Would you guys like a conspiracy theory episode? It doesn't have to be once a week, right? We could do it at any variable regularity. What do you think about that though? Yeah, please hit me with that email, Millie. I would really appreciate that. I'll be reading stuff all day. Lots of reading. Jason Proxel, yep, Tommy's son, that's me. Spanx Calhoun reporting for duty. Nice to meet you as well. Welcome in. Good to see you. Would be interesting. Down for that. Sounds good to me. Okay. It is what it is. Let's go. Big fan of Benedict Cumberbatch, I have to say. Shows the difference in how humans prefer emotional arguments to logical arguments. It is fascinating how the brain works. I definitely agree. And I would have to say, without any education on the subject, that I think this is most likely due to us being emotional beings. Obviously, we have logic, but there's something inside of us that latches on to emotions. There's a part of me that when I'm not feeling good, it just wants that feeling to continue. Feeling something at all in any intensity is something that is hardwired into me to be drawn to. Um, and I don't think that I'm alone. I think that's a human thing. I think that we are programmed to crave. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's operative. It's going to be fine. Crave emotion, crave feeling, right? It's how I know I'm alive, kind of deal, right? Although logic solves a lot more problems. It definitely provides many more solutions and much more smooth sailing. I think the key is to be able to balance or bounce back and forth at will, right? Apply your logic before and after getting emotional, and it'll smooth out the bumps that the emotions cause. Because I think that we need both. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it. Let's get some ones up one more time for my dad's back, for my throat, for anyone out there that needs a little extra love or help today. You guys are the best. Hit that like, subscribe, the bell for notifications. It makes a big difference. Shout out to the mods, the crew, anyone new. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Be decent to yourself today. You deserve it. I will be back in 100% peak condition, peak form soon, I'm sure. Keep up the good work, guys. You guys are killing it, all right? Much love, everyone. This has been the Lifeboat with Captain Calhoun, and I'm out of here.